Yeah.
you know shit is going to hit the fan, and it's a matter of like
When?
we've been on the precipice for a while, and it's almost
Yeah.
like, all right, get there already so that we can go to the rock bottom and come back up.
Hi, I'm Rachel Chateau with Pride.com, and I am so excited to chat with you and meet you all today because
Hi,
I
thanks for having us.
Yeah.
oh thanks for having me. So okay, one of the I all of your characters are in very different places this season. You know, you have different agendas, you have different struggles, but there is one sort of I found one sort of common thread between all of them, and I think really connects them. And that is the burden of holding a secret. Each of them has something that they're holding on to that they're, facing consequences around, which feels, I mean, as a queer writer, of course, I see the metaphor for queerness around that. But can you each talk a little bit about that element and what it means for your character this season? We can start with you, Erin.
I feel like it's really important that you said that because it's this weird sort of unspoken rule that as a woman in society, you reach a certain age and you just at that point you will have harbored at least one secret, if not more, because that's what is demanded of you. So for me, it was just like a really satisfying experience to portray that because the only medicine is to disinfect it via a little bit of sunlight and to just portray it on screen. And if it can either disinfect something or make someone feel less alone, that leads to empowerment and speaking out. So for me, it was like very cathartic and satisfying to portray that because it feels like an unfortunate condition of being in a world that's more conducive to male-oriented positions of power.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yes. I think for Kimiko this season, she kind of withholds information regarding her past because she's ashamed of it. And she doesn't want Frenchie especially to know about her being the perpetrator in the story. And she doesn't really want to face it herself, and therefore she can't speak about it. And I think that's a pretty common theme. I mean, not for the show maybe, but for people in real life. I think a lot of people just don't want to face something they're ashamed of and they are regretful of. And so
Yeah, no, just touching on shame. I mean, Victoria Newman at her court, I mean, she's held the secret of her superpowers since she was young. And I think there's deep shame attached to that because it's it lives in this world of she killed her parents and inadvertently, but this thing that she has never been put in a positive light. It's always been shrouded in secrecy and in shame, and especially with Stan Edgar, who's a father figure to her, he's encouraged this hiding of herself, and I think that affects her on a larger scale in terms of her identity. And I think that happens a lot when it comes to secrets and parts of yourself that you feel as though you have to keep away from the public or from just components of your life because you're not fully living in your truest self, and it's just so detrimental, I think, to your psyche. And it is detrimental to her psyche, and she's had to put on all these masks, and she's very much operating in a survival mode and has been for many years because of that. So I mean, I think it's just the continuation of that this season, and Erin talking about like shedding light on it. That is so true. There is really only one answer, and the way that comes about is just the way that comes about. And that's something that gets explored this season with Newman, which is terrifying and kind of like a release in a way.
Yeah. You know shit is going to hit the fan, and it's a matter of like we've been on the precipice for a while, and it's almost like, all right, get there already so that we can go to the rock bottom and come back up.
Nothing stays. There's no shrouded in secrecy for too long on this show.
Yeah, which I love.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's amazing that you could be the most powerful people in the world and still kind of face those things. It makes it relatable and human.
It
Yeah.
is, yeah.
I think that's the
It's
goal of the
ironic.
show too.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today. This has been so much fun, and I'm so excited for everyone to see the new season because it is perfection.
Thank you so much. Cheers.